Hi guys, Louis from WrestleTalk.com here, and as you can see, I'm in my best outfit because we've never had a show this big. We've had Ric Flair, we've had Shawn Michaels, we've had Drew McIntyre, we've had FTR, we've had Matt Cardona, but never have I had two feuding rivals, bitter rivals, once best friends, whose feuds come into a head this weekend. I am the only person who's going to be interviewing them. They came to me as the best interviewer in town and said, Louis, listen, our issues, they're too big. We need a place to condense it all. We need the place for us to go into All Out 2 with everything on the table. So this is why I'm here. I'm joined by lukewarm Luke Owen, who has thankfully got his job back. You can see the WrestleTalk sign behind him. He's back, hopefully full-time, I'm sure he'll say. And we're joined.
Me, Louis. Give me a yes, please.
Am I allowed to say yes, please?
Don't give him a yes, please. Say no, thank you.
No, thank you. And I've also got Mr. Davis with me. Am I right to call you Wally for this interview?
Mr. Davis is fine.
So I've got Mr. Davis with me as well. Guys, your feud's coming to a head at All Out 2. Predictions warfare. This feud sort of came out of nowhere. Let's talk about, from your perspective, Mr. Davis. You fired Luke on the QuizzleMania stream this past Wednesday. What were your thoughts going through your head when you did that? Why for you was that decision necessary?
Yeah, I think that the word that keeps popping to my head ultimately is betrayal. I went into QuizzleMania with a game plan, with what I thought was the support of my best friend in the entire world. And it was all going well at the start. I was winning. I was in the lead. And that was because of an understanding. And for whatever reason, that retrobate, lukewarm Luke Owen, decided to go against all that and just start calling it right down the middle. If right down the middle is, let's help Sean Ross Sapp win. So yeah, ultimately, did I fire Luke? No. I think Luke fired Luke.
I think we've heard something similar to that before. Not sure where I'm getting that connotation. But Luke, from your perspective, you were asked to be the host. As a former QuizzleMania winner, you want the integrity of the show. You wanted to play it down the middle, and you said that on streams. But was there any... Can you now, thinking back on it, perhaps understand that Ollie got Mr. Davis got the wrong idea that you wouldn't play it down the middle?
I mean, you're absolutely right, Mr. Dangoor. The reason why I was chosen to be the guest host for QuizzleMania X7 is because I'm a former QuizzleMania champion. I know how the game is won. I know how the game works. I know that it is a game of wits. It's a game of nips. And I thought that if I called it right down the middle, perhaps, coming off the success that Mr. Davis had at QuizzleMania 2000, that he might have some wits and nips about him. But unfortunately, he bottled it and he bottomed out, and I called it right down the middle, and he cocked it and he lashed out, unfortunately, and he seemed to think that I was trying to screw him out of something when really he screwed himself.
Factually incorrect.
Right, guys. I mean, let's talk about QuizzleMania 16. So the topic of this, obviously, QuizzleMania 17, when you got fired. QuizzleMania 16 or QuizzleMania 2000. You guys were tag champs. That's first ever tag champs, the only ever tag champs. Seems like you were on top of the world. So for you, Mr. Davis, what was it like tagging with your best friend, someone that you've been working with for a long time, seen socially outside of work? I mean, putting the curtain back a bit, you guys are very good friends. Speak about yourself as close friends, and obviously not now. So for you, Mr. Davis, how was that for you getting to tag and win the show with Luke?
It's a relationship that stretches back almost a decade. Me and my partner have gone out with Luke and his partner. When Luke got married, when Luke proposed to his future wife, I was one of the first people he told. I was in his groomsman party, not best man, at his wedding. Of course, it was a dream come true to tag, not only tag, at the greatest stage of them all, QuizzleMania 2000, was an honor. But I can't even think about it anymore because of how he betrayed me and how factually incorrect he was with all those claims he just made then. It's factually incorrect.
Luke, we'll throw it to you. From your perspective, how was it to win with Mr. Davis and then moving forward just 2 weeks, getting fired by him on the very same show?
I have got a lot of fond memories of WrestleMania 2000. Like the year 2000 is kind of like it was a bit of a pivotal year for me as a wrestling fan. So to be able to tag with like one of the people in this world, like one of my closest friends in this entire world, to tag with him on that show really did mean a lot. And you know, we went in, we trained. Ollie hasn't had the best track record at QuizzleManias, but I truly believe that he was gonna pull it out the bag at QuizzleMania 2000, and I was stunned at how much he did pull it out the bag. That the Raw Tag Team Champions getting Hawkins and Ryder, when literally I don't even think Hawkins and Ryder would have got that one right. He pulled it out the bag, man. And it was great to not only like we'd be going in Raw, we'd be wrestling with Regret, we'd be Sean and Denise. It was a great night. So it stings a lot that just 2 weeks later couldn't see the wood for the trees and decided to fire me for what really was, you know, his own fault.
Betrayal.
I'll tell you why I think he got Hawkins and Ryder. So they won the titles at Mania 35. What were you guys doing at WrestleMania 35?
We were live streaming it together.
You were live streaming it together. So was he remembering Hawkins and Ryder winning the titles? Or was he remembering the time he watched the show with his best friend, sat there?
I mean, I don't know, because going by his performance at QuizzleMania X7, I'm not sure he could tell you any other match that happened on that card.
I can name all of them.
Go on then.
Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins winning the Raw Tag Team Championships.
From?
The champions at the time.
They're my favorite tag team.
You're a big fan.
I'm a big fan of their work. I'm helping you.
And
they now wrestle on your favorite show. Who did they face?
Young Bucks. And also there was Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. Next question.
Yep, that's 100% right. Well done. 10 points to you. So for you guys, I don't want it to come to this. The WrestleTalk environment has been a hostile one for the past few weeks. Working, morning meetings, we're all treading on eggshells. We have to welcome Mr. Davis. Peeling back the curtain, we all have to stand up and applaud him as he enters the meeting. We have to sit there in silence, and every time he says anything, we just clap afterwards. It's a very hostile environment. So,
excuse me, hostile? That sounds like a lovely environment of respect.
We're all very happy to be working for Mr. Davis.
Yeah.
But for you, Mr. Davis, we've seen this character before. It seems like it's got some similarities to one we've seen on our screens before. But what are some of your favorite Mafia movies?
Well, of course, Mafia movies, all the big ones. I really, really like Goodfellas. It's long, but I like it. Godfather Part 3.
Sex tape. Sorry for the joke, Mr. Davis.
Thin ice. You're on thin ice, Lewis. Love Godfather Part 3. It's I think easily better than the first two parts. I hope they make a sequel. It's a shame they haven't already, because just that there's so many unanswered questions in Godfather Part 3. What other huge mobster movies? You know, the Penguins? The Penguins from the film Madagascar. Huge influences on just how I like to conduct myself. I don't know what you mean about character when you said that just then.
Mm-hmm. So Lukewarm Luke Owen. Great name, genius, whoever came up with it. For you, what does All Out 2 mean for you? The predictions warfare, we're coming to a head. You guys watching the show that you've watched together, that you've both been incredibly biased for together. What does it mean for you to be going head to head with Mr. Davis and permanently winning your job back? Is it just the job, or is it showing your friend the light that you guys are stronger as a team?
I mean, yeah, obviously the bias joke is very humorous, but it is actually a show that is quite important to us because, you know, we've basically reviewed every single episode of that show together. We can't say that for any of the other shows that have been on the channel because Raw's been on the air for 30,000 years and, you know, so on and so forth. But we have watched every episode of NXT together, and it's watching All Out 2. What did I say?
NXT.
The complete opposite show is what you said.
That as well. So to review all of that together, all out of it together, I'm super excited about it, and it's going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward to the show, and maybe showing him the light could be the way. I think he's a bit too far gone at this point, and maybe I don't know, like winning the championship might actually help him. It could make him worse. So the best thing to do is to make sure that I win the championship, get my job back, and show this man that WrestleTalk is better when we work together, like we did at QuizzleMania 2000.
Mr. Davis?
Well, you're dead to me. Not any, even if you win at All Out 2 predictions, which you're not going to, lukewarm, Luke rubbish. It doesn't matter because I'm going to make your life a living hell if you stick around.
And I look forward to working with you doing that. You dickhead.
I hate you, Luke Owen.
I hate you so much.
It's an interesting point, though, that we have watched AEW from its inception. I never thought about it like that. You know, NXT predated us in many different guises. Obviously, Raw and SmackDown both did. But AEW was something in its concept that we were both calling out for and yearning for years before publicly when we wanted an alternative to WWE programming. And yeah, like it happened. It happened because there's such an appetite for that style of wrestling and a more consistently treated adult product. I know NXT is, Louis. Don't want to insult your love.
I can see him chomping at the bit there to get in there and defend it.
But you know,
they're in my bad books a bit at the moment, so we'll move on.
But something that isn't WWE controlled, something genuinely fresh and new, and AEW had that, and it is a shame that you've ruined all of that for me, Luke, because we could have enjoyed this together. All Out isn't just like a huge pay-per-view for AEW. It's their 3rd anniversary show, kind of. I know Double or Nothing is their official anniversary show of their first pay-per-view, but I do trace it from All In, from that August 31st, 2018 pay-per-view, I want to say. And yeah, just I wouldn't have thought that, well, where we were when that first, or was it 1st of September? Can't remember. It was very close by. Me and Luke had been kicked out of our old studio where we used to make all the old WrestleTalk shows, where we had the background full of T-shirts. We recorded podcast episodes from there talking about how All In wouldn't be a success without either Daniel Bryan or CM Punk. We thought there's no way you'll sell out 15,000 tickets without one of those two names. And then a couple of months beforehand, legit, the inside ceiling of one part of the studio where we recorded stuff in this quite grimy industrial estate in a place called Dagenham in Essex fell through because there was a pigeon infestation over the course of years and years and years. And the accumulated pigeon foul, which is the nice way of saying that's a lot of S word, gets very, very heavy and weighty on top of pigeons just keeling over and dying. So above us, little to our knowledge, were loads of dead, shit-covered pigeons. And the force of the weight of all of that was so much that the ceiling fell through. And we had to, well, we panicked and we found like a little music recording studio for bands and stuff down my road where I live. And we sort of went in there for about 4 weeks while I could find another office. That's when All In was aired. And we couldn't actually watch the show together because of that. We couldn't live stream stuff. But, you know, we watched it since, and we've been such big viewers of Dynamite, and we love it. We really, really love it. And Luke has thrown that all away and tainted every single memory and everything we've come through because he betrayed me.
I think one of the reasons why we kind of like really gravitate towards AEW and Dynamite in particular is because we both share a love of January 4th, 2010, when Impact went live on Monday nights against Monday Night Raw. We both have got like very fond memories of that, and like watching the show and genuinely thinking, wow, Impact's gonna take it to WWE. This is the time. TNA is gonna be the one. And and like Vince Russo just came in and just shat all over it, and Hogan just came in and shat all over it, and
like a
Bishop
pigeon.
came in as genuinely like a pigeon, and like those pigeon shit covered Russo, Bischoff, and Hogan ideas, Ollie Davis is throwing away nearly 10 years worth of friendship.
Me and Luke both obviously came up as fans in the Monday Night Wars and the Invasion storyline. You, Louis, you never, you know, you've not lived through a genuine WWE competitor. I think me and Luke always strive for that Attitude Era. You know, it's not something we really bring up or reference in anything, but we do like the Attitude Era stuff like McMahon versus Austin, obviously WCW. So we've always wanted a bit of that back. Whereas you seem almost annoyed that there's NXT versus AEW stuff happening.
I have loved the past 2 weeks where I can watch both. I don't have to go, what one am I going to watch? Or sit myself like cross-eyed trying to watch both. I can just watch both of them at the same time. And I've just turned my Alexa on. Alexa, be quiet. I can wholeheartedly see why for you guys, AEW has, if anything, brought you closer. You watch it together. You've both got a shared love. And when you review WWE shows, there'll often be something that you can critique. And it does bring the mood down. But when you guys review Dynamite, you're genuinely both very happy, reviewing the show that you love with your close friends. Peeling back the curtain a bit, in morning meetings, you guys normally smile ear to ear on a Thursday morning when AEW's happen. Can't wait to talk about it. Normally, you've got to convince me that something was good. FTR debut, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it was fine. But Dynamite for you guys is the show that brought you together. It's your show. So for you guys coming to a head, I don't think there's a better time or a place for your rivalry. I mean, I wish we weren't in this position, but for it to come to a head at All Out 2 with your predictions, warfare, and your going head to head. So, Mr. Davis, we've got obviously the Jam That Championship. The winner gets the Jam That Championship. The loser, or if Mr. Davis, if Luke loses, he's gone forever. Do you need a new co-host for the AEW shows?
I need someone who really knows what's at stake, and can sort of say, you know, clearly what's at stake on the line at All Out. 2 predictions this Saturday. Maybe it'll be difficult because you are so NXT loving.
I wasn't suggesting me.
I feel like you'll bomb all over AEW otherwise. But the thing is, an interesting point, just to go back a bit. Before AEW, me and Luke would watch NXT together. Luke came round my house after a Comic-Con once, and we watched an NXT takeover, and then I think we watched Pitch Perfect. And it was, you know, that NXT used to be our show.
It was.
But yeah, then, you know, we just like the new shiny things sometimes, and that's been taken by AEW. But in terms of what happens when Luke will get fired, because trust me, he will. I've got loads of talented people here on the team. I've got Laurie, I've got Adam, I've got Pete, I've got you, Louis, I've got Andy. I've got so many people, and I think that people are sick of sick of Luke and his treacherous ways. They don't want you around anymore. They say no thank you, lukewarm Luke Owen.
His live stream on Sunday begs to differ.
Yeah, I was
They
going to
outdrew
say,
you.
I outdrew you quite a lot in the ratings war on Sunday at Payback. A lot of people tuning in to give me a yes, please, to get rowdy, get the air horns blazing.
What did I just say? What did I just say about us? People like the shiny new thing, the thing that's the quote unquote alternative. They weren't there for you. They were there to stick it to me. I made you.
I thought you know what the fans want. So surely if you know what they want, they'd be on your show.
Yeah, and that's why they all eventually came over to me when I took Luke's stream down.
Because you shut my stream down.
Yeah, because that's what they wanted. And now when you weren't around anymore, they could all come over and watch me. I know what they want
the comments said differently. The comments were very upset that you shut down the stream.
I'm all about long-term booking. And in that moment, 5 minutes before I decided to do it, long-term booking, that's what they wanted. The people wanted that. Did you just sneeze, you mum? Louis?
I did not sneeze, no.
Damn right you didn't.
Damn right.
Mafia bosses hate it when people sneeze.
I've heard that. So
it's a big scene in Godfather Part 3.
I've heard.
And Madagascar Penguins.
What a movie.
I've heard a very famous Mafia movie where I don't know if you guys have heard it, seen it. There's a scene where the head Mafia boss is trying to impress some people, and he actually shits himself.
Was that in Madagascar, the Penguins one?
It was. The Penguins shit themselves.
Yeah, it was.
Don't remember that scene.
Don't remember that scene.
Was that a DVD extra bonus feature?
It was. Yeah.
I've watched
director's
all those
commentary.
As well. I've watched all those for the inspiration. I can't remember it. What are you trying to imply? That I'm going to crap my pants this Saturday? Don't you worry. I've got plans. I'm going to make sure
to crap your pants
loses his job on Saturday all over again.
But there's no way that you can rig this. It's predictions warfare. And I mean, how many Wrestle Leagues have you won, Mr. Davis? How many QuizzleManias have you won, Mr. Davis, without my help? There's no way that you can beat me in predictions warfare and become the Jam That champion.
Oh, the hubris, Louis. You see this guy?
And the hubris.
The hubris. Who?
Guys, I think we're at an impasse here. I think before I let you guys go, and I somehow find a way to edit this, because I do all the editing for these interviews. What do you want from All Out, Mr. Davis? What do you want to gain at All Out? And what do you want to say to Mr. Owen before the pay-per-view this Saturday and your predictions warfare battle?
I think the thing I want most from All Out 2 is for everyone to watch the live stream so they can all see me publicly get rid of Luke once and for all for the channel. And far more importantly, because ultimately Luke means nothing, I become the inaugural WrestleTalk Jam That Champion. The championship belt will be over my shoulder. And I can finally prove to everyone that I am a winner. QuizzleMania. Wrestle League. I'll have the championship gold or the championship red, as it will probably end up being. And that means I'm in charge. And also, good wrestling. I'm looking forward to All Out too, because I really like AEW, and man, that tag match is going to be insane.
Luke Owen, what do you want to say to Mr. Davis before your match or before your showdown this Saturday? And also, what are you looking forward to from All Out?
This coming Saturday could end up being the last live stream that Ollie and I do together. If I do lose the predictions warfare and Mr. Davis does become the inaugural Jam That champion, and I do lose my job, then I won't get to do live streams anymore with the man that I did once call my best friend. And that will suck. That will suck, but I'm looking forward to the show because I'm looking forward to winning. I'm looking forward to doing more live streams with the man that I once considered my best friend. I'm looking forward to doing more work for WrestleTalk, creating more great videos, the Actually Good series on Parts of Unknown, for example. I'm looking forward to beating you, Mr. Davis. I'm looking forward to not just beating you, but helping you realize the error of your ways. I hate you, though, you big dickhead.
Lovely. I mean, there is no way Mr. Davis can read this. There are predictions. The predictions will be out on WrestleTalk by the time this video goes live. So check them out. Have a look what Luke and Mr. Davis are predicting. There's no way they can fob this because we'll see what they've predicted before the show even happens. And as much as Mr. Davis thinks he has sources, he doesn't. That's my job. There is no way he can fob this. It all comes to a head this Saturday. All Out 2 live stream on WrestleTalk's YouTube channel. Subscribe there now if you're not already. And if you're not, what are you doing? Head on over there Saturday. Watch the show along with Luke and Mr. Davis and see the rivalry of the century come to a head. I feel like we're having a Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton stare down while they stared at each other for uncomfortably long. So I'm going to see these guys off. They're both, you can catch them over on their Twitters, which will be linked below. Have a look at everything that they're doing. Luke's Actually Good series is quite good, so watch that too. But yeah, All Out 2, Predictions Warfare this Saturday. Be there. Watch history. Once in a lifetime. It will never happen again. Check it out.
Give me a yes, please.
No, thank you.
Dickhead.
Yes, please. See you.